Going back to making good tea, you have to start off with cold, ultra high filtered water. You just have to. That is the first and one of the most important steps to making good tea. Then you bring the water just to a light simmer boil. You don't want it a full rolling boil. And then depending on what kind of tea you're making, which normally I drink black tea, green teas, unless it's like the Sleepy Time chamomile lavender tea. Earl Grey lavender loose tea is really, really good. You let that steep, it's a black tea. Just like Lipton, it's a black tea. You let that steep about 3 minutes. Or at least I do. I like my tea to be a little bit on the bitter side, to be honest. Sometimes I add sugar, sometimes I don't. I always drink it black. Unless, I'm really, really sick, and then it's definitely lemon, definitely natural honey, and maybe a little cream in it. Otherwise, it's cream to offset the lemon, because I'm just not a fan of lemons. Lemonade every once in a blue moon. I just put the kettle on for a cup of tea. 11s is I think is what they call it, if I remember correctly. But I didn't have any tea this morning. I haven't felt that well, and how stupid is it I get stressed out that somebody starts talking while I'm having an actual other conversation. But, they want me to believe I'm hallucinating and delusional and absolutely crazy. So when I said, un momento, por favor, the massage place was calling to, we got your message. I'm so sorry to cancel at the last minute. She feels bad. I don't feel like driving up there. I'm not intoxicated to the point I can't drive. I just really don't feel like getting in the car and the sensory overload happening. It's not that troublesome for anyone else on the road, but makes me a nervous wreck. That's why when people tell me they enjoy driving and are relaxed driving, I'm like, you people are crazy. How in the hell can you enjoy driving? I've never understood that. I enjoy getting from point A to B if necessary. I hate driving. I never have enjoyed it. But then again, when you're forced to learn to drive a full-size truck, Windsor stick shift V8, on a public roadway with heavy-duty truck traffic, not a choice, not me saying, I'm driving underage because, I'm a rebel. No. That was, you get in that fucking truck or on that fucking tractor or you'll see what happens. And believe me, I saw what happened plenty. That's also part of human trafficking and forced labor. But because we were white American farmers, it didn't apply to us. Oh well. Oh well, right? Let the past lie. Exactly. If I hadn't gotten over the psychological torture aspect of it, I would have killed myself a long time ago. But then again, I hate to say it because it stigmatizes mental health and doesn't do anything for treatment. But parents, tell your children to not even mention the word suicide because that will be flipped on them in a heartbeat. And that's sad. That's sad that patients cannot sit and talk about their health because of laws like Kentucky Revised Statute 503.100. That's absolutely fucking sickening and saddening, and it is unconstitutional. Suicide was decriminalized in 1993 as an unpunishable crime. Yes, we can interject judicial emergency authorization to lock you up for 72 hours in a facility, but that is not carte blanche to murder them. So KRS 503.100 needs wiped off the goddamn books. I mean, there are already laws in place saying if someone is a danger to someone else or themselves, deadly force, could be used. There is no sense in KRS 503.100 stating, if a person even admits having suicidal ideation, deadly force can be used against them. Read it. That's how you interpreted it. So now do you understand why they lied on that forum when I was a kid, stating that I would play in traffic and creating passive suicidal behavior? Lawyers and judges know those things, especially ones raping and recording kids and child porn. So not only did I go through conversion reparative therapy for being a fag, I also went through it because, I had a huge problem with what they were doing to me. So the conversion part is, you're going to be straight or else. Reparative is, we don't like that goddamn sass mouth. And guess what? Kids die from it. And it's normally marked off just about the same in some cases, not all. Depends on if the parents flip their stories. Most of the cases are written off just like with the Amish denying their children medical care. It's our deeply held religious belief. And you know what? That flies for murder, manslaughter, murder, child abuse, child rape. Doesn't apply for cannabis patients and deeply held religious beliefs. Don't you find that odd? Now that would be a good case for the Supreme Court. It is a parent's right to deny a child health care due to deeply held religious beliefs. Look up the case laws. So that's another reason I have a problem with anti-abortion efforts. Listen to my story. My parents had money. Our family had money. They were homophobic pieces of shit in a lot of regards. You're a peasant, Russell. Nothing but a farmer's son. You don't deserve health care. As an American-born Caucasian citizen, and that's not me playing the white card, that's me playing the what the fuck card. All these people bitching about how America is white supremacy and la-di-da. I had several African American friends growing up, just like I've been married to African American men. I don't look at that shit. You know what ended one of my African American mixed marriages? He was within the church, the Baptist church. I can't take you to church with me. People will ask too many questions. I want a divorce. That's how I hold religion deeply in my heart. Honest, I can't take you to church with me. They'll ask questions and I might lose my job. I want a divorce. Now if they fire you, sue the hell out of them. You're welcome. Granted, most employers will find ways around it. No. They didn't wash their hands often enough. Every time we entered the production area at Tyson, 2 times at least. Most of the time, most people would, use the facilities, wash their hands before heading to production. Entering one production area, wash for 30 seconds. Then where you hit my production area, you had to redo it yet again. Cleanliness was very important to them. Their facility, surprisingly, for, as much food product that was handled, spotless. That was an amazing job. I hated having to resign. But I could tell that they were tired of the Tourette's outbursts that they, didn't understand. I can't remember if I listed it on the intake thing or not. I might not have. I needed a job. And I, knowing my experience, or lack thereof, with public work, I was like, they might not hire me for disclosing something like Tourette's. I could tell they were kind of tired of me, with the auditory vocal tick things, especially, but like I said, it was cold in there. The physical stress makes it worse. So, I'm pretty sure they were ready to fire me, to be honest, just because of that. I was like, no, I'll resign. Ninette's sick too. I'll resign. So, people think that I just freeload, I guess, and go through the world without a care, but this is my life. That was the last job. Before it was Teleperformance USA, contracting with Medicaid. That's all I'll say about that. Those bitches, no offense, even though I had explained to them, I have these health conditions. They were unwilling to accommodate. Unwilling. I apologized ad nauseum every time they had a criticism over my, ability or lack thereof. But they were like, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and terminate you. Fine with me. Your all systems are nothing but a load of shit. At least 4 web-based ones and 3 to 4 program ones, not to mention Microsoft Office and everything. I'm like, for you people to claim that, you can do anything with a system this unstreamlined is beyond me. I had to go through 2 training sessions because I was one of the ones in the first training session that didn't even get the basic equipment I needed. So by the time I was done with the second training session, I had gone through training classes with about, I don't know, probably at least 50 people. By the time they fired me, only one other person that I had trained with was still employed with them. So if that doesn't send a message, I don't know what does. But they fired me for my mental health. Huge lawsuit. But no. And then I got harassed about them not getting my equipment returned. I sent it back in their packages insured by them. If they didn't get it, that's their fucking problem. But, trying to find an attorney to help anything is a nightmare. I contacted every Mason County attorney, Lewis County, Louisville, Lexington, and even farther. But I guess, something they established with healthcare paperwork limits my ability to, even file a police report. And that's how I feel. That might sound paranoid. It might be paranoia. But that is how they have exercised their actions. All the while making me feel guilty for even talking about it. Just like with Sam Bavard and his butthurt fairy frivolous lawsuit comment. So let me tell you how Sam Bavard used to threaten to physically harm his own kids for sneaking food because he thought they were too fat. And look how his eldest son died. And that's how, no offense, Not to be insensitive, that is how I have seen God work in my life. Mine. And that's nothing to do with the Bavards. That's how I've seen God work in my life. Whereas people will tell you, that's the devil at work. Our God is a vengeful God. So all you power of positivity people bitching about my negativity, it's getting shit done, isn't it? That's the perfect example of karma. Not the perfect one, because it's sad, because I like Ravana. I never really have cared for Sam. Mr. Bavard thought just because he used to, be with the badge people, that he can do whatever he fucking wants. They claim they're retired probation and parole and social work. Just like with Jeff and Jason, I used to get them confused bigger than shit, and they're not even identical twins. The one with MPD now, Jeff, Smoothie. The realtor, Sneaky. Smoothie, for, I could notate the physical. Smoothie, he's a smooth talker. Smoothie's a British word for, a chameleon. Sneaky. Smooth. Here, let me mock them or imitate them or whatever that word is for a minute. Smoothie. Jeff would always give me the look. Sneaky would give me the dumbfounded look. We are Siamese, if you please. We are Siamese, if you don't please. Dun dun dun. I'd marry my second cousin just for the dirty looks. Their daddy, lung cancer. Fleming County people, if I read the file correctly. From my memory. You can't see this shirt in its entirety. Now you can. It's a road, see? $1 at Goodwill. Couldn't pass it up. The trees. The Christmas trees. And the road. Or lungs. Who knows? Well, they're trees, but they could be lungs. And the road to my heart. I like my symbolism too. Just like with that skeleton top I have that has the hearts in it. Or the hearts. I hate hearts. That skeleton top I have that has the roses in it. They always told me to stop and take the time to smell the roses. Ryan got offended. I'm not looking for his photo. I'm looking for that top. I think it might have been under mobile uploads, and who knows where they went. Oh, and you all doubt me on the animal thing, the animal calling with the deers and everything. Look at this one. Look what came around and was so loving. Isn't it pretty? A little baby. Thank God its mommy came back for it. So the animal calling thing with the dolphin and the seagulls and the deer, you all figure it out. Most animals, no, most mammals, well no, most animals. Dolphins aren't mammals, are they? Most animals can hear the heart cry, as I call it. It's a basic law of nature in universal energy. Call me too new age for you. I want to see that goddamn top I was talking about. And no, not some sex top. Oh, you all doubted Clinton Adams nudes. There they are. Damn, I bet that photo. Yeah, it must have been. Oh well, it's in the Mason County house if they haven't burnt it all. It's this white top with black sleeves, and it's kind of made out of some weird thin material, and it's a skeleton chest with roses in it. That was symbolic too. Oh, I know a good song I can try to sing. It's 22 minutes out of 26. I have to see. I'll sing it in the next one. Theory of a Dead Man. A-flat. Maybe that was Shinedown. I told you that was Shinedown, A-flat. I've never heard that song of theirs. Well, you haven't heard some songs by some artists because they weren't released to the public. I think it was Shinedown. Maybe it was Theory of a Dead Man. I don't know. Oh yeah, Shinedown. Call me a sinner, call me a saint, and love me the same. Whatever it is. I'll try to sing it too. Call me a sinner, call me a saint. So between me and A-flat, who's the sinner and who's the saint?